1923 Season 2 has the perfect replacement for Beth and Monica's friendship, but it might not happen. Beth, Kelly Riley, and Monica, Kelsey Asville, have a vital friendship in Yellowstone, and the neo-Western franchise is missing that special something now that the flagship series is over. In Yellowstone Season 5 finale, Beth and Monica leave the ranch behind for good. Both women start new lives outside the Dutton family's land ownership legacy. Monica moved onto a portion of the ranch called East Camp, which was deeded back to Case, Luke Grimes, in his deal to sell the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch to the Broken Rock tribe. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14, Life is a Promise, Beth also moves from the childhood home where John Dutton, Kevin Costner, raised her. With both women starting anew outside the family's former burden, Beth and Monica will never cross paths at the ranch again. That said, the few times Monica and Beth did cross over directly within the Yellowstone story are essential. Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan must recreate the connection in another series, which could happen in 1923 Season 2. However, something could keep a perfect friendship from blossoming. Saying that Beth and Monica forged a special bond in Yellowstone is far from saying that the women were best friends. Monica and Beth came from entirely different walks of life. Beth was born with substantial privilege as an heir to the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Monica was born on the Broken Rock Reservation, where she had to work harder to build a life for herself. Still, both women have faced significant hardships. Beth and Monica have lost children, and their conversation about that in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 7, The Dream Is Not Me, shows how much the women relate. Beth and Monica understand and support each other at vital moments during the Yellowstone timeline. The most memorable instance is perhaps when Beth comes to save Monica from the boutique owner who accused the Native American woman of stealing from her store. Beth ravages the store until Monica tells her to stop, proving that Case's wife disagreed with how her in-laws solved their issues. Monica offers a crucial perspective, calling the Dutton family out for their tendency to resort to violence. Therefore, Monica's conversations with Beth are one of the best representations of the different ideologies within the series. If the best-laid plans come to fruition, 1923 could replace Beth and Monica's Yellowstone connection. The core thread of Beth and Monica's friendship was that the Yellowstone characters coexisted at the Dutton Ranch and could offer each other perspective during desperate times when it was most needed. In a man's world, Beth and Monica supported each other and had conversations that defined the different walks of life the women came from. In 1923, Elizabeth Strafford, Michelle Randolph, and Alexandra Dutton, Julia Schlattfer, could have the same symbiotic relationship that the modern Dutton women had if all goes well. Jack's, Darren Mann's sweetheart, Elizabeth, lives at the ranch after choosing to be with Jack rather than returning to the city with her mother. Things are pretty lonely for Liz back on the ranch with Cara Dutton, Helen Mirren, in 1923 Season 2, Episode 1, especially when her beau is away, and that could change very soon. Spencer's wife, Alex Dutton, is on her way to the family after securing a ticket to America with her friend's help. If Alexandra makes it to the ranch, Elizabeth will finally have another woman in a similar life stage to support her. While it would be great to see Alexandra and Elizabeth get a formal introduction, they might not meet in 1923 Season 2. An ominous struggle surrounds the Dutton family in 1923's second season, and any unfortunate events could prevent the women from occupying the Dutton Ranch simultaneously. Most notably, Alexa's journey to America could get cut short for whatever reason, and she won't have an opportunity to meet her potential sister-in-law if she doesn't complete the trip. Alex is traveling across the ocean solo, presumably for the first time, And many calamities could happen along the way. Something could also happen to Jack's sweetheart that keeps her from meeting Alex, even if Spencer's British wife arrives as expected. Elizabeth got caught in the crossfire once in 1923 Season 1, Episode 3, The War Has Come Home. Liz might not survive if she takes another bullet for the ranch. Elizabeth could also decide to leave the ranch life behind as the events of 1923 Season 2 pick up, as there have been hints that Jack's wife isn't cut out for the lifestyle. Whatever happens, it would be cool to see the next generation of Dutton women meet. The Yellowstone universe thrives on complex relationships, particularly the strong yet often tumultuous bonds between its female characters. In Yellowstone, Beth Dutton and Monica Lawn Dutton's relationship has been a study in contrast. A fierce, protective Beth colliding with Monica's quiet strength. Their friendship, while never fully realized, had moments of depth and potential that left fans intrigued. But with 1923 continuing the Dutton saga in an entirely different era, there's a new opportunity for a compelling female duo to fill this void. Season 2 has the perfect candidates to step into the Beth-Monica dynamic. Yet, due to the harsh realities of the time period and storytelling constraints, it may never come to fruition. The Beth and Monica dynamic in Yellowstone. Beth Dutton is the firebrand of the Yellowstone Ranch, unapologetically fierce, brash, and relentless in her loyalty to her family. Monica, on the other hand, is often the moral compass, embodying a more measured, introspective strength. Their interactions, while limited, were laced with an undercurrent of understanding. While Beth's protective instincts extended to Monica at times, their fundamental differences, Beth's ruthless pragmatism versus Monica's moral grounding, kept them from forming a true alliance. Now, as 1923 explores the Dutton struggles nearly a century earlier, the show has an opportunity to replicate this layered friendship with characters who fit similar molds. Alexandra and Tiana, the perfect modern-era substitute. Season 1 of 1923 introduced two women with starkly different experiences. Alexandra, the spirited British socialite who abandoned aristocratic life to be with Spencer Dutton, and Tiana Rainwater, the fiercely independent Native American woman escaping the horrors of a church-run boarding school. Their paths haven't yet crossed, but they represent the strongest candidates for a Beth-Monica-like bond. Two women navigating the brutality of the early 20th century, each in her own way. Alexandra channels Beth's rebellious energy, albeit without the hardened cynicism. She defies societal expectations, choosing a life of uncertainty and danger over the privilege and security she was born into. Like Beth, she is fiercely devoted to her man, Spencer in this case, and proves her resilience in the face of hardship. Her strength isn't just in her sharp tongue or wit, but in her unwavering belief in love and survival. Tiana, much like Monica, embodies a quiet yet formidable strength. Surviving the abuse and torment inflicted by the Catholic boarding school system, she escapes, determined to reclaim her autonomy and identity. Tiana's journey is deeply tied to her cultural heritage, just as Monica's struggles in Yellowstone often revolve around her connection to her native roots. While Monica is sometimes burdened by the weight of her husband's family legacy, Tiana must navigate an even more treacherous landscape, one where her very survival is at stake. The challenges of bringing them together. Despite the clear potential for Alexandra and Tiana to form a compelling partnership, the reality of 1923's setting presents challenges. Unlike Yellowstone, where Monica and Beth exist within the same world, even if at odds, Alexandra and Tiana are currently on vastly different journeys. Alexandra is accompanying Spencer through war-torn landscapes and political turmoil, while Tiana is on the run, seeking sanctuary among her people. For their paths to intertwine, 1923 would need to craft a scenario where their worlds collide. The Duttons, given their historical conflicts with both aristocratic elites and indigenous communities, are uniquely positioned to act as a bridge. If Tana were to find herself seeking refuge on Dutton land, or if Alexandra and Spencer's journey somehow intersects with Tana's, it could provide a natural way for their stories to merge. What their friendship could look like. If 1923 were to bring Alexandra and Tiana together, their bond could mirror Beth and Monica's, but with its own unique flavor. Unlike Beth, Alexandra isn't hardened by trauma, yet, but her exposure to the Duttons' way of life is bound to change her. She would undoubtedly recognize Tiana's resilience and perhaps feel an instinctive need to protect her, much like Beth did with Monica. However, Tiana isn't someone who needs saving. She, like Monica, is determined to forge her own path. Their friendship, then, could be built on mutual respect rather than obligation. Tiana could challenge Alexandra's perception of the world, grounding her in realities far removed from the aristocratic life she once knew. Meanwhile, Alexandra's natural defiance and resourcefulness could help Tina navigate a world where survival often means adapting to new alliances. Their dynamic wouldn't be built on opposites clashing, but rather on two women finding solidarity despite their vastly different origins.